After trauma, it's common for people to develop certain bodily responses without even realizing it. But by becoming aware of our body's patterns, we have an opportunity to develop new patterns that can result in dramatic changes. Dr. Pat Ogden explains how what she calls contact statements can encourage people to discover their body's response to trauma and find the meaning behind it. She refers to her patient, Bill, as an example of how this is done.
Another part of your work, you use something called contact statements. Can we talk about what contact statements are in your way of looking at them and how you use them, perhaps with this most recent person you talked about or with Bill, the man you talked about just before then?
Okay, yes. Well, contact statements are something that I learned from Ron Kurtz, whom you know was my primary mentor in the 70s. What's interesting about contact statements is that everybody makes a contact statement because a contact statement is just demonstrating that you understand what a client's going through. So you might say, oh, childhood must have been so hard for you. That's a contact statement. The difference in this work gets back to working with the now. Therapists have to learn to make contact statements with present moment experience that incorporate the body's response. So with Bill, I might say something like, you know, as you talk about all these losses, your head's starting to pull in more. That's a contact statement with present moment physical experience, which therapists are often hesitant to make because it's not a contact statement we would make in our daily lives. Contact statements are things that we make all the time with our friends. Oh, wow, you're having a great day. That's a contact statement, right? Because it shows you understand their experience. But when you start to bring in the body, it feels off to people. So that's where tracking comes in. You have to track the client's response. And if they have a aversive reaction, then you have to make contact with that. Oh, something disturbed you about that statement, huh?
And yet, when you're using a contact statement with and in reference to the body, it sounds to me like you are not making an interpretation,
right.
Like as in your shoulders are hunched and that therefore means.
Right, no, you're right, because I want the client to discover what it means. So, and often we'll even put a qualifier. We might say, you know, it looks like your shoulders are hunching up right now, you know, and so then they can confirm or deny it. And then if they're interested in it, then we can explore it. Well, if you go into that pattern, what does it tell you? What do images come up? Do, you know, words come up?
And would you kind of have them almost exaggerate that pattern so that they can get really into it?
Exactly. Yeah, but just a little bit, just because you don't need much. It's like you raise the signal just a tiny bit. Just try it on just a tiny bit more. And the more subtle, almost the more potent it is for them.
Being able to pick up on body cues can be a key resource for healing.